All right, everybody. Welcome to the Dickbird Nest, and this is going to be episode 2 of Dickbird Origins, the video where I kind of take some members in the THC and we'll go through like how they got into collecting, just kind of like to get to know some of the regulars a little better. And so yeah, today I have on Guillermo Gutierrez, otherwise known as Gump.
Like Forrest Gump.
How you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm chilling. About to have a day off tomorrow, so
Oh, nice. There you go.
yeah.
So you're out in Texas?
Yeah, this is what is it? The football team cowboy country area.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I don't watch that stuff, but I hear
Yeah,
people.
well, being an Eagles fan out here, man, that's like our most hated enemy.
Oh
There are
really? What's-
there are Megatron to our Optimus Prime.
That's awesome.
So
Fun things.
so we're gonna just get into some questions I have about collecting and whatever nerd stuff in general, kind of whatever you want to talk about. So what do you collect?
Man, mostly my collection is mostly like Marvel Legends. I got a lot of it behind me.
See that?
Um,
Me too.
yeah, I see that too. Awesome. You're all carded, man.
Well, yeah.
A lot of them. So I do like Marvel Legends. I'm big on the NECA. I love NECA. But really, it's just random. Like if I see something that I really like, I'll get it.
That's awesome. That's the best.
Yeah. I can't help myself now, especially since I've really dove into collecting the last, I would say 4 years. The Juggernaut wave that came out, the Juggernaut Bath. Pretty much since then, I've been getting Marvel Legends, like pretty much full waves of them.
Did you get that Rogue from that?
Got the Rogue.
Oh, lucky you, man. Lucky you.
I didn't get the Rogue for $10 or what people were getting her for. Got her, at face or whatever.
Nice. Yeah, aftermarket, she's going sometimes over $100 now.
But I did miss out because that was after the I think it was the Jubilee wave. So I did miss out on Strife. So I had to pay $60 for them. It's crazy how they go up in price. But I mean, that's Strife to me is a must have, especially after that cable came out with the
Deadpool wave. Yeah. Yep, the Deadpool or X-Force, whatever they're calling X-Force wave, Deadpool wave, yeah.
It was a Deadpool wave, but it was the Build-A-Figure Sasquatch, I think.
Yeah, with Domino and X-23, X4, yeah. Yeah, that was a good wave. Except for that Paladin, I don't know. I had never heard of Paladin.
Yeah, we got a mountain of Paladins because they're so cheap.
The good news is that you can use him as legs for the new Cannonball figure that came out, which is they match up pretty good. Yeah,
I see Longshot going with him, but yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I love Longshot. I have actually just got this the other day from my buddy Chris out in Colorado. Sent me that. Yeah, sent me that New Mutants pack.
It's crazy how those Walgreens exclusives are like hit and miss in this area.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her. I haven't seen Emma Frost, and those are like what people are asking me for. Because I'm a guy that'll buy. If I see like 5 of them, I'll buy like 3 of them, and I'll give them out to friends that can't reach those.
Yeah, that's awesome. I try to do that if I can too. I remember when Triptychon for the Transformers thing came out in Ollie's. I went out and bought like 4 of them. I just sold them at Mark. Give me the price plus a couple bucks for shipping. Yeah, I'm a big fan when people do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, going back to your childhood, I say when I say collect, I guess nobody really. Some people collected as a kid, but I mean, mostly we just played. But what were you all about when you were a kid?
Yeah. I was one of 9 in my household, so
Wow.
I definitely don't think I was collecting, but whatever I got, I loved. I cherished every little bit of whatever I got. And for me and my younger brother, we were most excited for Turtles. The old Playmate. It was Playmates, right? Not Kenner.
I don't think it was Kenner, but yeah, Playmate sounds about right. I wouldn't remember. But
yeah, actually, I still have a few of them from back then. And yeah, man, that's what I loved growing up. The movie was amazing. The TV show was cool. So I was big on pretty much whatever was on TV and whatever I was lucky enough to get. But I remember one year I got a gargoyle. The main character, I forgot what his name was.
Goliath.
Goliath. There you go. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. And then one year I got the Shadow guy. I forgot what that guy's name. That Baldwin character. He was.
The Shadow. Yeah. Was
yeah.
Yeah, he was a Shadow. Yeah, Lamont Cranston.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's his name. The What Evil Lurks in the Hearts of Men, or who knows?
Dude,
I forget. Yeah, dude. When I was a kid and I used to sleep over at my grandma's house sometimes on the weekends, and my grandma had this tape. It was like a set of all cassette tapes, and it was all The Shadow, because The Shadow was like a radio show back in the day, and they had like voice actors, and they would act out the radio. This shit was kind of scary. Like now that I go back and think about it, it was some creepy shit. Yeah, he was like some sort of like detective, and he could like hide himself in the shadow. I don't know exactly if he had like powers or if he was just slick like that, but yeah, they did that movie. Yeah, I remember I think I had the bad guy from that, the toy. He had like big claw or something. Kind of. I don't even remember if it was from that movie, to be honest.
Yeah, so we got toys like once a year for our birthday or whatever, and or unless we were going to garages. Garage sales were so cool back then. You'd see a Nintendo for like super cheap. I mean, I had a Nintendo already, but I'd always be like, oh man, they have a Nintendo, I want it. But yeah, we'd get TMNT figures at garage sales for a couple of cents or whatever back in the day. So that was always cool. That's what I liked when I was a kid.
Did you ever have the pizza shooter?
No, I didn't have the pizza shooter.
Me neither.
I got it recently, but I don't know. I was never a fan of that. With the big pizza guy, I think he was the one that wrote it, right?
Shit, I don't even remember. My buddy had it. I remember I was always jealous. It was like a big tank kind of thing that he had like plastic pizzas, and I forget who drove it, but I never had. I had a lot of turtles too, man, and like we weren't like we weren't like terribly like hard out, but I got a lot of like I would get a lot of like toys, but I would never get like the big the vehicles and stuff like that. Yeah, I would always miss out on that shit. Not that I'm complaining, but yeah, I always wanted like the Technodrome and the fucking all the play sets and shit with the slime that came down.
Yeah, my neighbor, that's actually how I got familiar with all that stuff. Because, we had one or two or three between me and my brothers, and we would play with them or whatever, take turns or whatever, if we weren't playing outside. But my neighbor had the Technodrome, the sewer, the small drill thing, whatever it's called. I can't believe I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it was like a module something.
Yeah, the module.
Yeah.
He had a ton of vehicles and stuff. So whenever he'd rarely ever play with us, but whenever he did, it was awesome. He had like a mountain of everything. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I had one buddy that had the Castle Grayskull from the He-Man, and he was like, we all got to go over to this dude's house, bring our He-Man toys and shit.
Yeah, I remember being in third grade. No, probably like second grade, and walking across town, because actually back then I lived in Iowa, and I don't know, it was a small town. It was in Davenport, Iowa, and I would walk across town like a 30-minute, 40-minute walk just to go play at my friend's house, who had a ton of toys, which was always cool. And it's funny because I didn't stop playing with toys until like late. Like I was already doing I guess I could say I was doing drugs or whatever. Drinking. I don't know if that's loud or whatever. But,
yeah, man. It's fine.
Yeah, I was already drinking and smoking. And I was like, I think I was 16 or 17, still messing with toys, making stuff out of cardboard for them.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Yeah, out of cardboard, and made my own X mansion with the danger room, and you know, I'm over here trying to get laid, and at the same time like playing with. Like I'm just one of those guys that was I don't know. I stuck with it until my imagination couldn't do it anymore, which was about 17. And it sucks. I wish I could go back to making storylines and whatever. I have such fond memories of making storylines and detailed movies in my head and actually playing it out. And then, you know, just having a blast for 5-6 hours at a time.
Yeah. I stopped collecting late too. I wasn't like 16 or 17, but I was like 13, 14 years old. And it was like, man, I wasn't like I would want to fuck with toys, and me and my friends, and they, you know, my one friend that I was into like X-Men and stuff with, he was like falling out of that shit, and like we didn't like sit and like play with like but we were like trying to like, you know, fuck with stuff, and I kind of fell out of it, and then I got more into playing hockey, so I was doing like sports and shit like that, and none of those guys were into like nerd stuff either, so I kind of just completely fell out of it.
Yeah, that was my problem. Like I had nobody to experience this with. And to me, it wasn't like I wasn't one of those kids at an early age. I wasn't one of those kids that did the smashing, you know, those kids. I never did that. I would be choreographed in my fighting scenes and everything, you know.
Dude, I would get mad at kids when they did that. Like, yo, you're gonna break that shit, man.
Oh, they couldn't do it with my stuff, man. I'd be pissed. Yeah, but if they did it with theirs, I'm like, I see how you play. It's pretty dumb, whatever.
Yeah, you know? I used to do that too. Like, think of like storylines and fucking like why they're fighting each other, and because I would have different because I would have Turtles and Transformers and X-Men stuff, and I had to I couldn't just make them fight. I had to give them a reason to, because they're not from the war, you know. Why are the X-Men fighting the Transformers? You got to come up with a reason.
Yeah.
And then Transformers were hard to play with too, because you had to I always like to start them off in vehicle mode, and then I had to stop the battle, transform everything, and then get back to it.
Making the sound effect for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. That was gonna be my next question. Like, when did you stop? But yeah, like 16, 17, around that area. And then did you just stop altogether? Did you just maybe kind of just stop collecting, you know, toys?
Well,
a lot, maybe?
I don't think I ever really stopped because I would still go through toy stores every once in a while, and if I saw something cool, I'd buy it. I was into Beast Wars, and I was into Transformers, but I don't remember I never got a Transformer as a kid. I don't remember if they were expensive or I just never got one. I never got one until I became a teenager and started working. I would buy my own stuff. I think that was around the time Beast Wars was or Beast Machines was happening. And I did not like Beast Machines, but
most people don't.
Wars. And I like Beast Wars. I like Transformers. And around that same time was remember that Starship Troopers show? It was the same graphic. Wars.
Wait, not Starship Troopers. The VR Troopers.
No. It was a Starship Troopers show. I was in junior high, I think, and it was called Roughnecks.
Oh no, I never heard of that.
Oh, check it out. It's pretty good.
Was that a cartoon or?
It was like Beast. It was like Beast Wars.
A 3D. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Starship Troopers. It was based off the movie and shit.
Yeah, I think it was more in depth to the actual book and storyline and stuff.
Nice. I'll have to check that shit out.
I have the book. I've never read it. I need to get on that.
If you're into, I'm gonna shamelessly plug a friend of mine, but if you're into Beast Wars, you should check out the Stasis Lock guys. They're in the THC, Tyler and Dakota. I don't know if you ever see them post a lot, but they do a whole podcast about specifically just Beast Wars and shit. It's a pretty cool show.
Cool. I need to check that out.
Yeah. Stasis Lock, it's called. Yep. They actually did it. They do a live stream every Wednesday, and they just did theirs today. I'm always working though. I can never live stream it at work. But I
think you say VR Troopers. I remember VR Troopers.
Yeah, that was all like Superhuman, Samurai, Cyber Squad, and VR Troopers, and like Beetleborgs. That was all those Power Ranger ripoff. I forget. There's a certain name for that kind of like cartoon that used, because the Japanese had like a Ultraman, and they had like a Spider-Man kind of thing.
Yeah, I loved all that stuff because anything with like choreographed fighting, I thought was cool.
Yeah.
When that era was happening, I really enjoyed that. Like different types of moves portrayed. You know, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was all like it was kind of like cheeseball a little bit, but like all like old like kung fu shit like that and old stuff like that it's always a little cheesy, but you know they do that like sound effects and shit like that. Very accentuating moves. So it was funny. It's not till like when I got older and started getting into MMA and shit like that, where I started learning like all that shit like would never work in a real fucking fight. They would get like double legged and fucking pounded.
Hell yeah.
Trying to do like fucking kung flu and like crouching tiger shit.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It would work if you fought somebody that didn't know what they were doing, but if anybody knew some grappling or wrestling, that'd be done.
Yeah, that damn wrestling changed the game for sure in MMA.
Yup. So, you said you never really stopped buying toys and stuff, but what got you into like collecting, like seriously collecting, like
Well,
around?
I remember my first BAF that I completed, Build-A-Figure I completed was the Sentinel, and that was back when I was getting out of it, and I could not find the Galactus parts, so I was getting pretty pissed off about that. And I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Oh, like what got you back into like heavy collecting, like not just like buying stuff but you know going through just kind of like thinking like, man, I want to build shelves and.
Well, that's what did it, because I was going through my stuff because you know I think I'd broken up with my girlfriend at the time. And I was moving my stuff from my mom's into my new apartment, or no, my brother's to my new apartment. And I was going through these bins of toys that I hadn't been in years. And it was that Build-A-Figure Sentinel. And I was like, I had it in my hands and I was like, man, this thing, I remember the feeling of completing this, you know, going to the store every day till I found the parts, you know, 3 or 4 different stores. It's the hunt, you know. The hunt was amazing. I remember the feeling. I was like, man, I forgot I had this. You know, I started looking at my figures and, you know, all these Toy Biz figures. They were cool, but I knew that they were, because I remember when Hasbro had taken over and I didn't like them. I didn't like the figures, but I was like, I remember seeing, I think I passed by the toy aisle and I remember seeing that that there were still Marvel Legends, and I was like, man, I should see what they're doing nowadays. And then I saw the Galactus pieces, and I was like, man, I wish I could complete that. And I don't know why something told me to check Facebook Market, and then I got into the Facebook groups. So I think pretty much the Facebook groups kind of got me back into collecting 4 or 5 years.
So you're the third person I did on this show, and that was basically the everybody's answer. Basically, like
Really?
the same. It's almost the same thing. Like they just go into a store and say, "Oh, that's cool," and they buy it, and then it's the same thing with me. And I just bought some stuff on a whim, and then just like talking about it on like social media and stuff, and you start getting those. Hey, I suggest this group to you, and I saw a Transformers one, and as soon as I started talking to people and they opened me up to like things to collect, I started just fucking buying everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could remember who sent me an invitation to the hardcore, because the hardcore is definitely a special group that I really like because it's like more grown up collecting where we bust each other's balls a little bit, but at the same time, you know, it's more lax, and I thought it was cool. I was like, man, I fit right into this group.
It is. It's a very chill group, and there, you know, every now and then you get a few knuckleheads in there, but that shit gets shut down usually pretty quick, because even though, you know, like we all fuck with each other, once like somebody else starts like trolling or fucking, you know, that they get shut down. The admins are always real cool. Jay is awesome, dude. He's the one that got me into like a lot of shit. Him and one other guy were the first ones I actually like talk to, like send me like PMs and shit like that, telling me about stuff.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
I agree.
I'm a big fan of the TH. Are you in any other groups? Are you in like the Marvel Legends collecting groups?
I was in pretty much, I don't know, I'd say about 12 Marvel Legends group. And then I got tired of like the scamming and the trash talking, and I was like, man, I could be a complete collector without this stuff. So I just have a tight knit friend list that I keep in contact with, and they'll keep me updated with stuff or things that they know I'm looking for. And then I'm part of I think 2 or 3 smaller groups too. I'm part of a group that's only like 50 people, and that's pretty much all we're going to keep it at. And then another group that I just, mess around with. I was actually, I forgot what the group is called, Conglomerate or something. It was the first group I went live on, which I thought was pretty cool. You have to get used to talking and seeing yourself or whatever, because it's definitely practice like anything else. Get all nervous and don't know what to say and stuff like that.
Yeah, I enjoy doing the live things, but yeah, it's a little weird. But at least people are communicating with people through the them type of messages, and that's kind of how I got started doing this, like just doing those live things with the giveaways, and then just decided might as well just make a whole video out of it. And yeah, I like this kind of stuff better than I like the videos that I do, because it's weird. It's weird when I set up my table, my lights, and it's just I turn the camera on and I'm just in my room talking to myself.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird, and I don't have like a script or anything to go off of. It's just stupid stuff I say. But this is way more like, this is what I like more about this channel, is talking to you guys and doing the Bird Gang thing with the Eagles, trying to do that every week.
Yeah, it's definitely easier talking to people like face to face. That podcast that I do with my brother. It's a lot easier to talk to somebody. It's really hard to like scroll through comments, and then there's always a bigger lag than, I don't think there's any lag here, but there's always like a lag in that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just recording too. I'm not streaming. It might be. Do you guys stream, or do you pre-record it?
I don't know what. It's live and it's recorded.
Yeah, and then you just release it afterwards as a thing. Yeah.
I think the UFCs, when we do the UFCs, those are live. I'm not really sure though.
So what's this podcast called? So if anybody wants to check it out.
It's the U and G Odyssey podcast. I think it's just U and G Odyssey on YouTube, and then it's on Spotify. Is nice. How I
I'll put a link to the YouTube channel in the is it on the YouTube channel? Yeah. I'll put a link to the thing in the description.
Yeah,
if you're cool with that.
It's not for you.
Well, that's one of the cool things about the THC is that everybody usually is able to be offensive without being triggered, I guess again, sometimes some infighting happens, but that's going to be with any group of people, so it's not. Yeah, I know some of them motherfuckers are not easily offended.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of like offensive attacks or anything. It's just like lightful playing, how guys do,
Yeah. Locker room talk, they call it.
Cool.
Yeah, well, that was my next question was going to be anyway, like what brought you into the THC and the other groups, but we went through that.
I wish I could have invited me. It might have been Jay. I'm not really sure. But I think I was in one of the Marvel Legends groups, and I got an invitation.
Do you collect any other line of Marvel stuff besides just the Legends? Like, do you fuck with like Mayfax or Mezco or Figuarts, stuff like that?
Let's see. I'm looking around, and I don't get me wrong, I would. It's just a little bit out of my price range, and then like I guess I shouldn't be more quantity over quality. But I don't know, man. I just it's kind of hard to see Mayfix and oh, I forgot the other one you just
Mezco.
said. Yeah, it's hard to see them do like obscure and a whole team of people.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'd be pricey, man.
yeah,
I don't fuck with him for the most part unless I try and get the fig arts as much
uh,
as I can. Especially I'm really into the MCU stuff, and
mhm.
they do a lot of that. So anytime like an MCU fig arts comes out, I try to get it. But if you're quick, you can snag that shit up overseas for like real cheap. So instead
Yeah,
of paying like $80 $90 here, it's only like $50 over on Japan. And then if you go in with a couple people, it cuts down on shipping costs and shit like that.
yeah. It's funny. I really enjoy the MCU. I'm a big fan of Captain America. He's my favorite hero.
Me too.
Um, but I do not collect MCU. I think it was because back, when they started doing those figures, the face sculpts just weren't up to par. And now they're getting better, but I think now I'm like, it'd be hard for me to catch up now. Have a whole Avengers team and all that stuff.
100%. They are doing it. And if you do have like if you want to go ahead and spend the coin, like a lot of times when something comes out, somebody will make like a custom head, or like I know a buddy of mine has the he got that Mark is it 85, the end game Iron Man suit, and he got a custom made, like it was like a beaten up like Tony head, like he's all bruised up. It looks really fucking cool.
Yeah. What
And
do you think about that?
what's that?
Uh, What do you think of Endgame?
Oh, it's like my favorite thing I've ever seen in my entire life, man.
That's
I
probably
so much of my life for the last 10 years has been revolving around just fucking following the MCU, man. It's like my favorite shit ever.
Yeah, I was one of those guys keeping up with the cons and what they're releasing in the movie lineup and all that stuff. And it's funny because I felt like other than Facebook, I couldn't talk to anybody around here about it. Nobody's big into Marvel like that. Without, well, I guess my small circle, they just knock it because they want it to be comics so bad. But I mean, once you just get it through your head that look, man, this is movie, this is not comic.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's good. I
It's
was
yeah.
about it for a while, but you let it go. It's just movie. It's not.
Yeah, even though it's different than the comics, I still think they did like a really good, and like there was some okay movies, or a couple that weren't really that good, but for the most part, man, they kind of knocked it out of the park with everything, and I'm super excited to see them going forward, to see if they
Yeah,
can get to that same level again with all this cosmic shit they're looking to go about, like the
yeah,
Eternals and stuff like that.
yeah. I'm scared of what they're gonna do with the Avengers because my favorite characters are pretty much gone. But they still have X-Men they can do. They have Fantastic Four, and then like you said, the Eternals. The possibilities are just nuts.
Yeah,
So,
they do, and they can do anything. And money talks too. And just because those guys want to leave now, doesn't mean that in the future, they open the door with all the multiverse and time travel stuff. Man, they can kind of do whatever they want. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Tony Stark or fucking Cap come back.
the old
Yeah.
cat dragging a shield on the floor.
Yeah, I would love to see old man Cap, man. At least maybe he could be like some sort of like leaderish figure.
That'd
That
be
would be
cool.
cool. Yeah.
What is that
But
like? Oracle? Like Batman's Oracle?
yeah, the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm not 100% sure, but I think there was a Old Man Cap comic series, I think, where he was kind of like, he was like aged a little bit. I might have been making that up. I can't remember.
I'm familiar with that, but I'm down to read it.
Yeah, I'll read. I love Cap, man. Besides the X-Men are my favorite shit, but other than that, Cap. And I'm a real big fan of Winter Soldier, too. I love when he was Captain America. He was fucking badass, and I would have. Falcon's cool, and his Captain America was cool too. But I would have liked to see Bucky hold the shield next.
I'm the same. I would have loved more Bucky in general and Endgame, but whatever.
Yeah. There was so much they had to do. But
Yeah,
that
to me, I agree with you on that. That being my, well, I don't know if you said it, but that's my favorite MCU movie. all the throwbacks make it
Endgame.
that.
Oh my god, yeah, it was like a 3.5 hour long Easter egg. That whole fucking thing, like
Yep.
every little thing was like a tied back to something.
Mhm.
They did an amazing job planning that. Like whoever, I guess Kevin Feige for like when I saw the new Shang-Chi movie coming out, and it's going to be called like the Order of the Ten Rings or the something like that. And I
Mhm.
didn't even realize that first Iron Man, that when he was caught by that terrorist group, that
Mhm.
that terrorist group was called the Order of the Ten. Like that's how far it went back, like to the first fucking movie. And then like I guess now we're gonna see like the Mandarin and shit, but they teased the movie that's coming out now like over 10 years ago, and that's some crazy ass forward thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very unfamiliar with that character, but I'm always down for a new Marvel character that I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know
Um,
shit about the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, and now they're like
exactly.
they're
That's
like my
exactly
favorite shit.
that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Is like I was knocking Guardians of the Galaxy, like what the fuck are they doing with this shit? A talking raccoon, but then like I shut the fuck up after I saw that movie, dude. That movie was awesome.
I didn't even know. I actually did. Me and my friends did the Dickbird dabs, where we all did dabs and talked about the MCU.
Yeah,
But I was saying on that, like I didn't even know Rocket Raccoon was a fucking Marvel character until I picked up that Marvel vs. Capcom 3
mhm.
game, and Rocket was and I was like, I was looking up at like the Capcom roster. I was like, what is this Rocket? Where from Capcom is he? And then it turned out that he's a Marvel character, and I'm like, oh, Guardians of the what now?
Mhm. Which he's awesome. I love him in MCU.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Bradley Cooper. He's from Philly, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, love that dude. Um, you reading any comics and stuff like that? You just trying to stay followed up with that?
Man, I started my reading of Marvel in card form back in the early '90s. We couldn't afford comics, so we would get the cards and then trade them at school, and that's how I got my knowledge on Marvel characters. Um, and So everything I know about Marvel is pretty much '90s and whatever I read online. I did read. Let's see what I read recently. I read some of Civil War, and then I listened to it on YouTube, and which that was crazy.
But they do
And
like they read through the comics, or is it like the guy that does like comics explained?
yeah, Comics Explain guy. I forget
Yeah,
what.
yeah, I don't know
Um,
his name either, but that guy's awesome. I like his channel.
yeah, it was 5 hours of that, and I was like down for more.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
let's see, I just read Old Man Logan. That was pretty cool.
love that
Um,
book.
so I'm very behind on comic reading.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like I would buy just like comics. I would if I don't ever really have like a comic book store around me, but like nowadays when you go in and you see like the bins and you see like, for $20 you can get 3 graphic novel size books, and that's how I found a lot of stuff like that. I'll pick up, but more recently I've been able to like get stuff like online, and I've been into like reading them online. So I've been following that new House and Powers of X.
Yeah,
I don't know
House
if
of
that's
X.
yeah, that shit's really, really fucking crazy, man. Can you read all like if you can read comics online, I can send those files over, like those files over if you want to download them. If you have like a comic reader on your computer or your phone, I'll share them with you, man. Because those things are so fucking crazy. Like the Comics
Yeah,
Explain guy does breakdowns on them too,
yeah.
which I've watched.
I've been keeping up with it. I have friends that have been telling me about it, but I haven't. Like, I want to read it too. Yeah.
Like they really like fucking turn that shit on its head, all that X-Men stuff. And then I heard that new Absolute Carnage comic is pretty good too.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if it's a part of it. I just saw Venom Hulk. So I don't know if that's a part of that, but I just saw it. It looks
oh
crazy.
yeah, Venom, like a Venom verse. Oh, you mean Hulk with the symbiote suit?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I gotta check that out. That's fucking cool. I'm trying to catch up on some old Spidey books too, because he's one of my other favorites.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the last Spidey book I read, it was in the Clone Wars somewhere. Which that's what got me into comics was the artwork. I used to
Mhm.
draw a lot, and that stuff was just awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I was never into. I mean, I always tried to draw, and I loved doing it, but I just couldn't. I was just not. I don't have that. I don't have that eyesight, that people
Oh,
have.
everything is repetition, man. Everything is
Nah.
repetition. It's funny because I started out drawing South Park. South Park is what got me into drawing.
I could draw some South Park shit. That's pretty simple.
The characters were this big. I don't know how I made them that big. I was in like second grade or something, making tall South Park kids.
Damn, you were watching South Park in second grade? That's awesome.
That's when it came out, man. I was all about it.
It's funny. I wonder how many people started watching that without the knowledge of their parents knowing what kind of cartoon, because it's a cartoon. Hey, mom, I'm watching this cartoon, and they don't pay attention. They go to the other room, and it's all fuck, shit, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I was in like second grade, and I would wear the shirts from Spencer's or whatever that they sold them back then. That sold passwords or whatever. I'd get sent home or have to flip my shirts inside out daily.
My friend had a South Park shirt with, it was a Kenny shirt, and it was like 10 panels of him getting killed all the different ways. And yeah, they made him turn that shit inside out. I'm fucking stupid, man.
That's awesome.
So, collecting wise, last question will be, what are you looking forward to coming out next? I know the next Marvel Legends wave is the Thor Lebowski Thor.
Mm-hmm. The Fat Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't collect MCU, though those figures look awesome. I'm a big Valkyrie fan. I think she's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful. Oh my god, I'm in love with her. But a Henda looks dope. But I'm not gonna get any of those. I think they all look really good. But I am looking forward to that Havoc and Polaris 2-pack. The Love Triangle, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. Really excited to finally have a Jean Grey.
Dude, bad man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Marvel collector. All these figures that are coming out are amazing. We're finally getting, I don't know how many years they've been doing it, 30 years or something, and we're finally getting complete teams that look great.
Did you happen to pre-order the Alpha Flight set on Amazon?
Alpha Flight? Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Man, something about Amazon, I don't really think they ever really sell out,
No, not usually, no. Unless it's like a flash sale or something like that they throw up.
Yeah, because I know I'm missing I collect Star Wars too, Black Series.
Nice.
So I'm missing that Darth.
I see some up there.
Something palette. Sorry. Oh, I forget what that. Palpatine. I'm missing Palpatine.
Oh, okay, Palpatine. Nice.
He's on back pre-order, so I'll just wait for him to be there, and then I'll get that one. And then, yeah, man, they don't really sell out. I got the 3-pack. What is it? The Brotherhood 3-pack. I don't know why they called it the Brotherhood. It's Magneto.
Oh, the Family Affairs, they called it. The Family Affairs 3-pack. Yeah, with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Oh no, it's not there. It's packed up. Never mind. That was a nice set. Yeah. Yeah, they're really pushing that 90s shit right now, man. And that's why I keep telling people, I don't take my word for it because I don't have any inside information, but I would almost guarantee that a new Rogue is going to be coming out soon. And I would almost guarantee that they're going to use it as bait for a 2 or 3-pack.
Mm-hmm. They have to, to give us a variant of Gambit with Rogue and, whoever else that may be. Or 2-pack.
I've said it before, and the things that I would like to see most with Rogue, and it probably won't because they'd have to make whole new characters. They'll probably just do they'll probably be with Gambit, and it'll be like remolds or redones of the old mold. But I would like to see, her with Destiny because they gave us the Mystique, so I would like to see that, and then I would like to see maybe like a Brotherhood of Evil Mutants pack with maybe her and. Like Pyro and I forget who was in that team. Was it Avalanche?
Yeah.
Blob. Yeah. That I would like to see too. I would like to see a Blob Build-A-Figure. That would be a really good one. They could do Rogue and Avalanche and Pyro and Toad. and all that shit, and then make Blob the Build-A-Figure. That would be really dope. But I would put money on it that they're gonna have Rogue come out within the next year.
Yeah, man, that's what I love about the possibilities. They still have a whole lot of characters they can do. I mean, all the main popular ones or whatever are kind of over, but I mean, we still have so many villains we could do. With Wolverine, you could do Cyber, you could do Lady Deathstrike.
I would love a Cypher. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
In general, X-Men, you can do Arcade. I just had his name, whatever. There's just so much you can do still.
Yeah, they really haven't done a lot of like the Shi'ar. I would like to see like a space wave with like they gave us the Lilandra head, but they could do like Decan and fucking Lady Deathbird, and like they could have the Build-A-Figure be like the Brood Queen or something like that. That would be really fucking cool. I would love to see some of that shit. I would like to see what's Cyclops' dad called, Corsair.
Yeah,
they could do Corsair and the Starjammers. Like that would be fucking awesome. Yeah, so many. Like, I mean, the fucking possibilities are endless. But they have a tendency to keep giving us like repaints of the same character, and that's okay too. But they do have do a pretty good job of giving new characters, especially with all the X-Men shit that's coming out. The Age of Apocalypse that's coming out soon. You saw
yeah.
that shit? That's like one of my favorite stories, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that Wolverine. They need to release that Cyclops, man. I love that Cyclops.
Yeah, with the long hair and the fucking one eye. Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
Wolverine went at it. Oh man, that's awesome.
I'd very much love to see them redo the Beast mold and do a Dark Beast.
Yeah, Dark Beast, Gambit, Rogue.
Yeah.
Give me a bishop in a cloth. I call him Priest Bishop.
Priest Bishop. Cleric Bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Cat would be awesome with her fucking long claws and shit that she had.
Yeah,
Cyclops with all the Nightcrawler would be like. I mean, there's Age of Apocalypse things work really good because all they have to do is retool some of the ones there. Like they gave us a Nightcrawler, so they could give us a one in the Colossus, yeah, with the bandana over his head and shit. Where he was all fucked up. Yeah, all that shit. They gave us the Blink. All right, they don't have to change her at all. I have the Blink.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 3 of her just for those effects. I love that effect.
That's a good idea, man. It works really good with the Nightcrawler too.
That's why I got it.
I actually think I think the Blink figure, like I think that when they do the female bodies, I think sometimes they're not that good. Like the one here is really good, and the Mystique was really good. The X-23 ones were good, but sometimes they do the female bodies and they're like real chintzy and they're not really articulate. Sometimes they don't put like the double joints in the elbows and knees. And I really think that Blink figure was not only one of the best female figures that they've ever done, and I think it was one of the better figures they've ever done as far as like the quality of the mold. It's a solid fucking figure, and I wish I knew if that was a retool or a repaint of the Mystique body. I can't quite tell, but I love that Blink figure.
I think it's the same.
I think at the end of the year I'm gonna do like a Marvel Legends award. They got like an award show. Give out all my so yeah, Blink might be my dark horse. I think that would be kind of fun. But all right, man. What's that?
You have a favorite so far this year for Marvel Legends or whatever?
Yeah, that Blink figure is really good. As far as Build-A-Figures, you know what? That Wendigo Build-A-Figure was cool. I don't know what year it came. I don't know if this was 2019 or 18, but that the Black Panther M'Baku was really good. So that might not qualify. That might have been 2018 though. I can't remember. I have to look to see which ones came out this year. Like the Apocalypse was really good. That Wendigo, that was a repaint of the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure, is pretty fucking cool. That Caliban figure lacks some paint, but as far as like articulation and stuff, it's really good for a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that Beast that we got this year off of the Caliban wave, and man, the Mr. Sinister is cool. The Silver Samurai is cool. They just keep knocking it out for me. I'm loving it.
I might have to, if I come across them at stores, start like rebuying those because I have all those those retro ones carded still. And the reason I did that is because when I first started playing with X-Men toys, those ones were like the first ones I ever like those Toy Biz ones that specifically that Cyclops with the X Factor costume and that Silver Samurai, and I had that Magneto one like and for me when they if they didn't repackage them in those classic covers like that, I probably wouldn't bother keeping them carded. But with them being like they look so beautiful in those cards, so I didn't want to take them out.
I remember spending, I would say, hours looking at the back of each of those Toy Biz cards, man, with the lines of each figure going across. It's so awesome. And then at the bottom they'd have the vehicles, and I love it.
Yeah, I really hope they do. I know the Hasbro Pulse, like the HasLab right now, they're doing that Unicron, and I know a couple years or a year or two ago they did the Barge, and I would really, really, really love for them to do a crowd-funded big Blackbird.
That would be dope.
I would probably fund that if they did it. I haven't funded any of the other stuff, but I don't know how much the Barge was. I don't know if it was around 400 or 500.
It was like 500.
I probably would do the Blackbird.
You're telling me you didn't fund the Cookie Monster?
I didn't fund the Cookie Monster. And I don't want to offend anybody that might have funded the Cookie Monster, because I'm sure anybody wasn't going to do this for. But for me, when I hear somebody say that they funded the Cookie Monster, I automatically think they were trying to fuck that Cookie Monster.
You caught me.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Cookie Monster's all right, though. I guess. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that didn't get funded, though. I hope the Unicron does, though. I'm not getting it, but I hope it gets funded. You know what? I hope it gets funded because I'm sick of hearing fucking people argue about it all the time.
I mean, it's really cool. Where would I put it?
I have that problem, too. Are you in the Transformers at all? You said just Beast Wars, right?
I love Transformers. I just don't know where to start, man. And they'd have to scale with my Legends a bit. You know what I mean? Like, they'd have to tower. I think there is, I don't know if it's Masterpiece or if there's a different kind, but I know there is some 14 to 15 inch figures that I might be interested in those. I think they're like 300 or something like that. I don't know.
Masterpiece scale is the biggest that they usually do, and I don't think it scales correctly with Legends, but it would scale the best with all the other ones, because they even like them some of the Masterpieces. Well, like Optimus Prime comes with a little like Spike and Spark Plug, and he's like, they're only like real small. The Legends are gonna like, honestly, probably 3 3/4 figures would scale better with the Masterpiece ones, like the G.I. Joe size ones. But even then they would I don't know. Who knows? Transformers was so fucked up in the animation. Who knows what scale there actually are?
Yeah, I did like. I was hoping they were going to do those movies where it's Transformers merging with G.I. Joe, like the comic book. Those are pretty cool.
The rumor was that they were supposed to start kind of like an MCU, but like a Transformers like universe with G.I. Joe and Mask and Transformers like all in the same universe, which would have been fucking awesome. But they keep fucking those movies up, in my opinion anyway. Some people love them. Okay, it's cool. The G.I. Joe movies I actually liked. Whoa.
Yeah, I hated all of that. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Transformers was okay. The second one was okay. After that, I stopped watching them. G.I. Joe, I didn't like those either. But if you get high and you watch the second G.I. Joe, it's really fucking scary.
I usually do.
Yeah, it's really fucking scary. Like, they're taking over the world and shit. And I'm like, fuck, y'all are dying on me. No.
So I was into G.I. Joe when I was a kid, but I wasn't like as into it as I was X-Men and Transformers. So like those movies to me, like they don't like ruin any like nostalgia I have for them. So I liked them okay, and I like all like The Rock and Bruce Willis and fucking Channing Tatum and wherever. Like they were like, to me, like okay action movies. Like I didn't hate them, but the Transformers I didn't. But that was kind of like, that was more of like a nostalgia for me that they ruined. That I was more attached to.
Yeah, I enjoy all that old stuff. So it kind of ruined it for me a bit. It's fine. I don't care. I'm used to movies being not what they should be.
And you know what? It doesn't really matter in the end because we always have the old shows and the old comics and the old toys to fall back on. So whatever.
The storylines in my head will never be beat.
Right. And even though like the Transformers movies like I thought were all like shitty, but like at least it brought a new generation into Transformers, and then they can like the movie stuff, and then if they really get into it, they can go back and backtrack to the old shows, and then hopefully get to the G1 and Beast Wars, and because all that shit was really good. Beast Wars is, I think, like the best written Transformers show ever.
I will not argue with you. I enjoy it all.
Yeah, if you ever want to drop some coin, man, those Transformers Masterpiece Beast Wars figures that they have they're pricey as shit, but they're fucking worth it, man.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I've seen them. They just released the Black Arachnid.
Black Arachnid's coming. Yeah, she's coming. I think in November. I have a pre-order for it. Those are other ones too. Like they're expensive, but if you can pop on like Dinobot, I have. Yeah. I paid full price for Dinobot because I didn't get it on the pre-order. But if you can get those from Japan, like $100 less than what they sell them in the States.
Wow.
The Dinobot I dropped I think it was $250. I dropped on that. Yeah, it's not something I would have done. Thought I was going to do when I first started getting into collecting, but
for a figure was I gave up on building Galactus. I paid $130 for Galactus.
It's not a bad price, I don't think.
For a bath.
For as much as you'd spend trying to track down all those figures, anyway, that's probably not a bad price. Yep. Nice. So, all the X-Men figures. That was a long question. What you're looking forward to most is all the new X-Men figures. Oh, and I agree with you. I agree with you with all that.
There's AOA, Age of Apocalypse is amazing. What's coming out next year? Yeah, just a lot of Marvel Legends, really.
They tease Strong Guy.
I'm super excited for Strong Guy. I'm super excited for Vulture. That's going to complete my Sinister Six.
They had that Doc Ock Superior Spider-Man coming out.
I'm not into that. That's newer.
Really?
I wish everybody tells me I need to get into the new stuff. Anything 2000 up, I'm unfamiliar with.
I haven't read the Superior Spider-Man books, but from what I know about them, that sounds really cool. And I like the look of that Spider-Man with like the tentacles and shit. But yeah, I'm trying to get a Sinister Six together, but I missed out on a lot of the ones that came out earlier, so I'm hoping they redo like Shocker and some of the other ones. So I have the Scorpion, and I'm gonna get the Vulture. And I have I forget it. Mysterio, is he in the Sinister Six?
Yeah, it's Mysterio.
Craven.
Sandman. I know Craven is in it.
Yeah.
I'm all mixed up. There's so many variants of that group.
Sandman's one that's really cool. If you get the, did you ever collect any of the Marvel Selects, like the bigger ones?
Yeah, I saw that one where he's in pieces, where he's like all sand and twirly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. So there's like they don't scale with the Marvel Legends, but there's certain ones that look really good because sometimes the Marvel Legends are a little short for the characters that are supposed to be real big. Like that Juggernaut is really cool, but the Select Juggernaut fits better because Juggernaut's supposed to be a fucking big ass maniac, and the same thing with Sandman. He's supposed to be, super huge. So other things too, like that. I always thought that Sabretooth that came with that Apocalypse Wave was like a little small.
Yeah, I agree.
Sabretooth's supposed to be a big motherfucker, and some artists have drawn him smaller, but Venom I thought was small in the Spider-Man wave.
Yeah, I prefer the Omega Red body buck with the butterfly joints.
Yes.
For Venom, for Sabretooth.
That Omega Red with the butterfly joints is such a good figure, and it really bums me out that all figures aren't coming out with butterfly joints. I don't understand why they don't do that. And I'll tell you I'll tell you exactly what I think would fit amazing on that Omega Red body is a Warpath.
Yeah.
From X-Force or from earlier X-Force, because he's almost like the same sort of body type, and I would really like butterfly joints on a big figure like that.
Man, I totally agree. Yeah, he should be coming out soon. I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either, because they seem to be like building. They've been gradually building that X-Force team. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a repaint of that Archangel. That was X-Force, and they already have Domino, and they have X-23, and the Wolverine just came out, and they're doing that X-Force, the Uncanny X-Force, fucking, what's that guy's name? I'm drawing a blank here. Deathlock.
Oh, yeah, Deathlock.
That's coming out, yep. So yeah, there's so much stuff. I love the Legend. The coolest thing about the Legends is that they're not that expensive, so I never feel bad about buying them, like, the whole wave at once.
Yeah.
I do agree with you that hunting them is much more fun. But when it comes to like the X-Men waves and stuff, I didn't want to miss out on anything, so I just go the whole wave.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have like 5 GameStops in my area. So if I'm willing to pay a little more and you know, I don't have to be patient.
GameStop's great. GameStop's great because they're a little more, but you know, it's also not as much as buying them online. And if they have it on their store, they'll ship it to your store for free if they have it on their site. So that's really cool. One last thing I'll ask you before we shut this down. Speaking of GameStop, did you get those? And you said you liked the Turtles. Did you get the Ninja Turtles? The NECA? Was it NECA? Yeah.
The 2-pack with the Batman characters?
Oh, no. The movie ones that came out earlier in the year.
Yes. I bought those. Yeah. I could not. Yep. I could not get those. You know, I wanted to. Right now, I think they're still online. You can get all 4 of them for like $90 some.
Nice.
I've been fighting myself not to buy another 4-pack just because they're like, I love them. Have you had them in hand or?
Oh yeah, I have all 4 of them. They're great.
Okay,
actually,
they're amazing.
Yeah, they're so good. And I actually pre-ordered the Splinter and the Shredder and the 2 Foot Soldiers. And if I come across them, I don't see myself not buying 2 more Foot Soldiers as well.
I pre-ordered 4 Foot Soldiers. I might pre-order some more. Because to tell you the truth, I can have up to 10 of them and be happy pretty much.
And you know the cool thing, like those are just like the Legends. Like I don't feel bad spending money on them because it's not super expensive. So it's not like killing you to buy a bunch of Foot Soldiers instead of buying $300 Transformers.
Yeah, I was really mad I couldn't get the SDCC pack because it comes with. I don't know if I doubt the box Splinter will come with his chains where he's hanging.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope he does, but I doubt he will. You know, they'll not package everything in those compared to those 4-pack.
The same thing with the SDCC 4-pack Turtles thing. I think came with a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
But all right, man, I'm gonna end this shit. And dude, thanks for coming on. I really it was really cool to talk to you face to face finally.
Same. Likewise, man. Nice to meet you. You're a cool dude. This conversation didn't seem like it lasted over an hour.
No, an hour or 2 minutes. These never do, man. I always tell people like, hey, these things, 20 minutes tops. And I think me and Art talked for like over an hour. I actually split that up into two different episodes. It was so long.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, I don't mind these things going long because people can get to know some of the people in the groups a little better, and then that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you something. What figure of Marvel Legends would you like to be remade?
Man, off the top of my head, I want to say Rogue just because I fucking need that. But
nice.
Shit, I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you mine. The Winter Soldier. I hate those damn legs.
The MCU one or?
No, it was a Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack.
Yeah, I never got that, but that would be a good one. I would love a comic Winter Soldier.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, nice.
He got ball joint leg.
Okay, if that's an older one, man? Yeah, they weren't really good with those older ones.
Yeah.
A lot of those things had trouble standing up and not as good articulation. But then, yeah, that's a good one. I would love for them to remake a comic style Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a great job. I just can't help but complain a bit. Let's get a Hulk wave, let's get a Captain America wave. Let's, all comic.
Yeah, they're really pushing the MCU a lot nowadays, but they did that Ultimate Captain America back in the day that I actually liked. I would like to see them remake that. That was actually not, it wasn't that it was a bad figure, it's just that it's hard to find now. Well, it's not really hard to find, but I'd like this for them to come up with a new one.
Which one's that one?
It was the Hit Monkey wave back when they were on cards.
Oh, with the like he has like a tool belt. I always make fun of it.
Yeah. It's from the Ultimate Comics.
Yeah, that's actually one I don't have. I have probably like 8 different Captain Americas, and I don't have that one.
I would like to see them remake Thor as the Ultimate. I would like to see them remake all the guys for the Ultimate Wave. I really like those Ultimates comics. Some of the whole Ultimate Marvel stuff wasn't that great, but some of them was really good. And the Spider-Man was good, and the Avengers one, which they were just called the Ultimates. Those are really cool. So they could remake a lot of them into that. That would be cool. Black Widow, Iron Man, and Thor, and Ant-Man, and Wasp. That would be my pick. I picked 7 of them.
Awesome.
But all right, man, I'll shut this stuff down. And do you have any last word? Anything you want to plug or anything like that?
Not really, man. Nothing I could think of.
Well, Guillermo, thanks again for coming on. And thanks everybody for listening. Like, subscribe, share, and hit that stupid fucking bell. And thank you very much. Have a great night.
Take it easy, dude.